The making of future planning, a roadmap of our futures, our wishes.
I'm Lynn Tomasa. I have been part of the University of Arizona College of Medicine, Department of Family and Community Medicine for over 30 years. I joined the Sonoran USID in 2006. My area really of interest is aging. I have always been in the field, and I found that talking about our futures is one of the most difficult yet important conversations that we need to have. We all have different needs and desires, and this is a conversation that I think we don't have often enough. So it started there. Fortunate enough to get funding from the Arizona Developmental Disabilities Planning Council in a grant that actually covered about 3 years. And during this process, I wanted to really have more conversation. So in essence, this is not something that I put together, but this is something that we put together. So I think when we first started this project, it was in about 2006, 2007. A colleague, Dr. Shiraya and I, we did focus groups, we did interviews, we just had a very open conversation about planning for the future. And I wanted to think deeper or get a better understanding of why are we stuck and despite all the information we have, what makes it difficult. And I came to the realization that tough conversations have a big emotional component. Mm-hmm. So I wanted to find ways or strategies that we can be more supportive. So that was critical. And then fortunately, we did have the first version of the roadmap in 2010, and that was received well. I think in 2010, there were 2 sections. I wanted it to be used and helpful for the individual as well as the family member. This workbook blends it so that there's not one section for you, one section for me. It's also more of creating useful worksheets. I wanted to learn more about what individuals with disabilities thought about future planning, how it involved their families, and how the role of the community in supporting these dreams that the individual and we all have. On a national level, it's been a topic of interest for more than 20 years, and there's a lot of good research and information out there. And so for me, a worksheet that helps to facilitate conversations might be an option that is more comfortable or easier to start. And it's something that people can do together. You can do it individually, you can share it with your family later or people that are important to you, or you can do it at the same time. So it gives you options. One thing that's important to remember is that planning is a journey, and it's unique and it's individual, and most of all it takes time and it's tough. I wanted the workbook to feel like a conversation yet include important tips, also show real life examples. And so in chapter 3 and chapter 4, you will actually see what individuals feel and what their lives and what planning means for them. I think it's always helpful to know that you're not the only one that has this difficult task or experience these emotions. And if we say it's not tough, then we're really not being open and honest about it. And so during this tough process, how can we help each other and support each other? We really don't want to plan during a crisis or during a family disagreement or tension. Everyone will have different ideas on what they feel is best. But I think the book also tries to bring us back to the idea that this is really about the individual. We want to be aware that it's person-centered and an individual's wishes and dreams might not necessarily match perfectly with the rest of the family, we always have to go back to that individual and see what we can do, or do the best job we can. We can do the best we can, and by thinking things through in a more organized or relaxed way, I think we can hopefully plan for different types of events. There is no perfect plan, but there are good options and there's a good plan. Updating is critical, and we need to do it on a regular date, not when you remember or when something happens. So one of the easiest ways, if many of us keep a calendar online or on paper, is just pick a date every year where you're going to sit down and you're just going to review it. It doesn't have to be a lengthy process. If things are pretty much the same, if your wishes are the same, but it's real important, I would say, do a check-in every year. And maybe more often if things are there's just a lot of things going on. Lives do change and wishes change along with that. I mean, I've worked with families over 30 years who sometimes have disagreements when it comes to the need for guardianship, or when, where appropriate, who, and you want to minimize conflict. And I think the way you can do that is to have a conversation. Well, I'd like to think it's be helpful for everyone, primarily the individual, and they can have a voice in who should see or know about their plans, but also I think family members or people that are closely connected or who closely support the individual, they will also have an idea of the social network or the network of support. And so all of these individuals need to know that there is a plan, and also to see if they want to be involved or have input. We have it in English and Spanish. It is available online for free on the Sonoran USIT website and on the ADDPC website, which is our funder. Scan it. Just look at each page. See if it triggers any ideas for you, any thoughts. You don't have to fill out every page. Every page is not going to be useful. But if you can pick even one small section, and if it helps you to start thinking and to start planning, I think that's great. I think my team, who has helped me to put it together, will be very happy about that. And I do want to say that it's been a collaborative effort, even among our Sonoran USIT staff. I had an excellent team of graphic artists, an illustrator, translators, editors. So really this is a team project, just like planning is a team project.
The roadmap is also available in Spanish. The roadmap is funded in thanks to the Arizona Developmental Disabilities Planning Council and is available on our website sonoranusit.fcm.arizona.edu, as well as addpc.az.gov.